Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Miftah as the second speaker of this group. In here, I would like to continue the explanation of test types in language assessment. So, in number 2, there are achievement tests. Achievement tests divided into two parts. The first kind is final achievement test. So, final achievement tests are thus administered at the end of a course of study. And then, final achievement tests may be written and administered by ministries of education, official examining boards, or by members of the teaching institutions. And then, in the view of some testers, the content of final achievement tests should be based directly on a detailed course syllabus or on the books and other materials used. This has been referred to as the syllabus content approach. It has an obvious appeal since the test only contains what it is thought that the students have actually encountered and thus can be considered in this respect at least a fair test. Next, example of final achievement test. The first is final semester examination, or in Indonesia we can know it is with UAS. So, final semester examination or UAS is a part of the evaluation which aims to measure and assess student competence so that students can continue learning to a higher level or there is a need for testing. And then the second example is the national examination, or in Indonesia we can call with UN or UNAS. So the national examination is a system for evaluating national primary and secondary education standards and the quality equality of education levels between regions carried out by the Education Assessment Center Ministry of National Education in Indonesia. Second is progress achievement test. So, progress achievement tests are the tests that are intended to measure the progress that the students are making. In progress achievement tests, one alternative way to measuring progress would be establishing a series of well-defined short-term objectives. Next, they should make clear progression toward the final achievement test that based on the course objectives. Next, teachers should fail to set their own pop quiz that this will serve both to make a route check on students' progress and to keep students on their toes. Since such tests will not form part of formal assessment procedures, their construction and scoring need to be too rigorous. Then, progress achievement tests, they should be seen as measuring progress toward the immediate objectives on which the more formal achievement tests are based. Then the last is progress achievement tests, however, reflect the particular route that an individual teacher is taking toward the achievement of objectives. The example of progress achievement test. Okay, the first is a quiz. So a quiz can be defined as a game or a brain teaser to test knowledge. A quiz can contain an element of competition when the participants play against each other to get the highest score, which helps participants become more engaged. Second, daily test. So daily test is a form of measuring the ability of students in the learning process that has been taking place. For this reason, the teacher needs to analyze the results of the test no later than 1 week after the daily test is done. The last is periodic review. It is based on self-evaluation conducted by subject or program teams. Number 3 is a diagnostic assessment. In a diagnostic assessment, that identifies is weakness, strengths, and problems of a student's learning. Diagnostic assessment can be the teacher's basis of planning of what to do the next in teaching and learning process, because it is a diagnostic or diagnosa. And then the teacher will be able to design classroom activities that address their to actual learning needs if he knows student strengths and weaknesses. And then diagnostic assessment are intended primarily to ascertain what learning still needs to take place. At the level of broad language skills, this is reasonably straightforward, because we can be fairly confident of our ability to create a test that will tell us that someone is particularly weak in, say, speaking opposed to reading in a language. And then we may be able to go further and analyze samples of persons' performance in writing or speaking in order to create profiles of the student's ability with respect to such categories as grammatical accuracy or linguistic appropriacy. Indeed, readers of writing and oral test performance should provide feedback to the test takers as a matter of course. Number 4 is placement test. Sometimes usually given to a student entering an educational institution to determine specific knowledge or proficiency in a various subjects. Placement tests are intended to provide information that will help to place students at the stage of the teaching program that most appropriate to their abilities. Next, placement tests can be vouched, but this is to be recommended only when the institution concerned is sure that the test being considered suits its particular teaching program. One possible exception is placement tests that designed for use by language schools, where the similarity of popular textbooks used in them. It means that the school's teaching program also tend to resemble each other. And then the last, the placement tests that are most successful are thus constructed for particular situations. They depend on the identification of the key features at different levels of the teaching in the institution. And they are tailor-made rather than vouched off the page. Well guys, that's all I have to say about my chapter in this group. For the next explanation, it will be delivered by other presenter. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry if I have a lot of mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.